Tov Chodesh Tov. Today's daf is daf Chav Zayin and Shavuos. As we learned from Achenu Basis Shon and Son Bashever Shivya. Also, today is the yard site of David ben Pesach Schreibman. May his neshama have an aliyah, and is also the yard site today of
my wife's grandfather, Yitzhak Tzvi ben Chaim ben Solomon.
May his neshama have an aliyah as well. All recorded properly. Tanur Rabbanan says the Gemara right after the Mishnah on daf Chav Zayin Amud Aleph. We learned yesterday in the Mishnah. Not like Rabbi Yehuda says that if you make a shvua to be Mekayim a mitzvah, right, and you're not Mekayim the mitzvah, you're chayiv there too. Some Rishonim actually paskin that way. The Yehuda said, listen, if you're chayiv on a shvua on an optional thing, certainly if you make a shvua that you're going to keep a mitzvah and you don't do it, certainly you should be chayiv there as well. If you forgot you didn't Mekayim the mitzvah, so they told him no. In the case of a shvuas. Case of a regular shvua, rishus, it's optional. You could say yes or no, but in case of a mitzvah, you can't say yes or no. You can only be mekayim the mitzvah. You can't say I'm not going to be mekayim the mitzvah. So they disagree with him. Tanur Rabbanan says the Gemara. I might think if you make a shvua that you're going to be mekayim mitzvah and put on tefillin. And what? And I didn't put on tefillin. I should be chai for the shvua too. Not enough that I'm chai not for just not putting on tefillin, but not mekayim and I say it's not malchus or anything like that. But you still lose credit in shamayim. So I might think if I swore that I'm going to be mafal mitzvah and I wasn't mafal, I'm chayv tamalom l'hora laheitim. Listen carefully, because it said bad or good. That's the lashon, right? In that again in Vayikra Parakeh pasuk Dalet kishava levatzman l'hora oleheitim for bad or good. Bad or good can mean bad or good. It could also, in this context, it really means negative or positive, as we'll see. So just like l'hora laheitim ma'atav rishus, just like saying positive is rishus. For also rishus, it's got to be something that's rishus, not a mitzvah. So I can't swear that I'm not going to do the mitzvah, or even if I swear that I am going to mekayim the mitzvah, like Rabbi Meir Shapiro says, if you say you're going to mekayim the mitzvah, you swear, and you're not mekayim the mitzvah, you're chayiv there too. He says, so that's what Rabbi Meir Shapiro says. We don't hold that way. We say no, just like doing good or bad is an optional, bad is also optional. Here, there's no option. You can't say I'm not going to do the mitzvah. Otzi, therefore I will exclude nishba levatlas a mitzvah. If I swear I'm not going to do the mitzvah, that's not a shvua. Below bittul. Even if I wasn't mevatel, I swear I'm not going to do this mitzvah. Right? If I swear I'm not going to do a mitzvah, and I'm not mevatel mitzvah, I swear I'm good. I swear I'm not going to do this mitzvah. I'm going to avoid this mitzvah, and I did it. I wasn't mevatel mitzvah. I actually did it. So michayev there, no shu potter, because the whole concept of the shvuas bita is only in something optional, which is not a mitzvah. If it's something which is a mitzvah, it's not optional. So he says, so what is the Gemara saying? Why? Because we said lahara laheitiv, just like hatava is a rishus, it's optional. Hara is also optional. Now the Gemara is going to say later on, how do you know that? You say, oh, it doesn't apply to mitzvahs because it's only something which is optional. How do you know it's optional? Maybe when the pasuk says lahara laheitiv, it means I swear I'm not going to do mitzvah. I swear I'm going to do mitzvah. Maybe it's a mitzvah. How do you know it's optional? We're taking it as a given, just like doing something good is optional. Rishus is all hara. Not doing something is also only if it's optional. If it's a mitzvah, then this shvua doesn't apply. How do you know that? We'll see that. Gemara then says yachal nishba l'kayim mitzvah. So let's say the other way around. I swear I'm going to put on tefillin. Below came and I put on tefillin. Not only do I have an aveir for not putting on tefillin, but maybe I will. Before it was right. If I swear I'm going to not put on tefillin, right, and I didn't not put on tefillin, but I did put on tefillin. So okay, I have a mitzvah tefillin. But maybe I have the Avera for because I violated my words. I swear I'm not going to put on tefillin. All right. I swear I'm not going to put on tefillin. And I put on tefillin. So I'm a chai for the shvur? No, because the shvur doesn't apply to a mitzvah, only to something which is optional. Then Gemara says the other way around. Let's say I swear I'm going to put on tefillin and I didn't put on tefillin. So not only am I chai for not putting on tefillin, maybe I'm chai for the shvur. No. The mitzvah, the shvuas biti that we've been talking about, the chayv olive carbon over the already, if you do it b'shogeg, it's only if it's optional. Ma la olahetiv ma laharosh. It's just like a raw is only if it's optional. Afator is also only if it's optional. Otzi nishbal kaim is a mitzvah l'kaim shupater. So therefore, if I swore I'm going to put on tefillin, and I didn't put on tefillin, not only am I not forget about an over for not putting on tefillin, I'm over and I say, but the shvua doesn't apply either. A shvua's biti is only on something which is optional, not on a mitzvah. So let's say I swear I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to eat a sandwich today. And what? I didn't do that. I did eat the sandwich. But maybe I'm potter there, right? Talmud lomer lahar lahativ. Okay, just like I can swear I'm going to eat a sandwich. Positive. Afarolicious. I can also say I'm not going to eat a sandwich. That's okay. Avi nish b'lahar latzmo b'lahar shushus biyado. So therefore, I am including this in Shavuos Biti. If I swear that I'm not going to eat something and I did it, and I did eat something, then I'm chayiv. If I did it b'shogim, chayiv korban v'yorah. If I did it b'mezid with the edim, chayiv. Since there's a mice involved, if there's a mice involved, I'm chayiv malchus for that too. So Avi nish b'lahar latzmo b'lahar shushus biyado. Okay, let's say I swear I'm going to hurt somebody else. I'm going to crack his head open. Let's say I'm going to hurt him in some way. And I didn't do it. Should I be chayiv there too? Again, optional. Only if it's optional. Just like doing something good is an option. I can only swear Shavuos Biti on something. It's only chal. It only takes effect. The shvur only if it's an optional thing, not if it's a mitzvah. And it's not. And obviously, I don't have an option to hurt somebody. That's against the Torah. So therefore, I will exclude if I swear that I'm going to hurt somebody else. That's shvuah is not chal. I'm not entitled to do it. Just like I can't swear I'm not going to put on tefillin, or I can't swear that I'm going to eat on Yom Kippur. I can't swear that I'm going to hurt somebody else. For the horish ein rishus biyado. Minayin l'rabos. How do I know to I that will include though in a shvuas biti? I could make a shvuas biti if I'm going to do good to somebody. Minayin l'rabos atavas achem. That if I'm going to do good to somebody, that is included. If I swear I'm going to give that guy a sandwich, that is a good shvuah. And if I violate it, I'm chayiv. Talmud lomer o lehetiv. The O is extra. You don't see it from the words acherim in the pasuk, but it says lahara ole. Why did it have to say lahara o lehetiv? Could just say lahara ulehetiv, either good or bad. Gemara will ask about that. Maybe if it would say lahara lehetiv ulehetiv without the O, maybe it means you have to do both. Maybe the shvu is only chal there. But at this point, we're assuming though O is extra to teach me that even though I can't a shvuah that I say I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to break your head open. I swear I'm going to break your head open. It's not a shvuah. But if I swear I'm going to give you $100, I have to give you the $100. What is doing bad to somebody else? Akas point, I'm going to hit him. Aftas mocho, I'll split his skull open. Right? That's bad. I can't swear that shvu is not chal. But I can't. So it's interesting. But when it comes to hurting other people or helping other people, the mitzvah is chal. I swear I'm going to help you. I swear I'm going to take you to your doctor's visit. That shvu is chal. If I swear I'm going to break your head open, that shvu is not chal. So all this is assuming, like we said, how do you know that if you swear to either be mekayim the mitzvah or to be mavatal the mitzvah that it's not chal? Because lahar lahetiv is only optional. How do you know it's optional? Where do you see it in the pasuk it's optional? Maybe it says Gemara now. Umimai. This piece of Gemara is very, very difficult to understand. So pay attention. Umimai the korah b'dvar rishus. How do you know this pasuk speaking about optional? The dvar mitzvah. Maybe the pasuk's even speaking about a dvar mitzvah. If I swear I'm going to take the lulav, I swear I'm going to put on tefillin, I swear I'm going to eat matzah on Pesach. Maybe that's what the shvuah is. Maybe it's their chaltu. Does the pasuk say optional? Does the pasuk say mitzvah? The pasuk says lahara lahetiv. We might decry b'dvar rishus ksivi. The midvar mitzvah ksivi says lo sal. You can't have such a havmina. Now listen to this difficult reasoning. Lo sal, I can't say that. Why? Because if we're talking about a mitzvah, why it can't make sense because it says lahara o lahetiv. Now, when it comes to doing a mitzvah or not doing or doing an aveira, we'll see that hara and hatava, it comes out to be the same thing. Why? The pasuk says lahara lahetiv. You need good similar to bad, and bad similar to good. Why? The akish hara tova. Pasuk is lahara lahetiv. So good and bad are compared to one another. Ma tava ena b'bittul mitzvah. Just listen to this. Hatava here again. Hatava is better understood to be good, not just good and bad, but positive or negative. Now, ma'atava in a mitzvah. If I say something, let's say I say I want to eat something. Well, let's say I say I'm going to eat chametz on Pesach, or I'm going to eat on Yom Kippur, and that's something positive. Well, that can't be positive. Why? Because I'm mevatel the mitzvah, so that comes out it's bad. Ma'atava ain't a b'bittul mitzvah. Just like what? When I say I'm going to eat something positive. I'm going to eat something. Cannot be involved in eating on Yom Kippur. Why? Because that's really a bad thing. It's bad for me if I eat on Yom Kippur. I'm over an aveira. Af hara ain't a b'bittul mitzvah. So not eating something, let's say not eating matzah on Pesach, which is a mitzvah, can also not be involved cannot also be involved cannot do I can't do a bittul mitzvah, not eating matzah on Pesach. And if that's the case, hara gufa hatavi. In other words, if I don't eat, if I swear that I'm going hara and of a bittul mitzvah, cannot be involved in what being mavatal the mitzvah, doing something, doing something bad or not doing something like not eating matzah on Pesach, being mavatal the mitzvah. But if that's the case, if that's not a good thing, I can't do that. So hara gufa hatavi comes out that the bad itself is a good thing. Says Rashi. Take a look in Rashi. Divrei Amaschil. She'ena b'bittul mitzvah, further up near the Mishnah, in the middle of the Mishnah there, even with the Mishnah, I mean, going Ochel b'Yom Kippur, Chametz Pesach, Da'lo Kariyat Tova Sher. You go, if you eat something bad, if let's say I eat on Yom Kippur, right? I want to do something positive. I swear I'm going to eat on Yom Kippur. That's a positive thing, but that can't be a good thing because that's a bad thing because I'm doing bad to my nefesh, to my soul. Elav Kiyam Mitzvah. What is a Kiyam Mitzvah? Like I'm going to eat matzah on Pesach. Okay, so hara also the lo ochel she'ena b'bittul mitzvah. Can't say I could go lo ochel matzah Pesach. It has to be elav kiyam mitzvah going lo ochel chametz. In other words, when I say I'm not going to eat something, I'm not going to eat something just like it because we're saying harona tava are compared to one another. So just like what eating something cannot be a bittul mitzvah, cannot be I'm going to eat on Yom Kippur, but rather what eating matzah on Pesach. So hara also, says the Gemara, cannot be by being mavatal the mitzvah, like not eating matzah on Pesach, but rather not the bittul mitzvah, not by eating chametz on Pesach, but rather not eating chametz. Ella b'kiyam mitzvah could go, and I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach. If that's the case, then not eating the negative, I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach. Hara gufa hatavi. So they're one and the same. What did you have to say? Hara and hatava. It already says that. It says Rashi, Imkain lamali the kasva hachara. Hatavi, it's hatava. You already said doing something good. In other words, we're comparing good to bad. We're saying that it doesn't make sense to say that we're talking about a mitzvah over here because the pasuk compares good to bad. So if good means what? Really good. It can't mean I'm going to positive. I'm going to eat on Yom Kippur. Can't mean that because that's really bad for my soul. Rather, it means what? Eating matzah on Pesach. Well, what's the raw that I'm not going to eat? It can't be that I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach. It can't be that I'm going to be not going to eat matzah on Pesach, right? I'm not going to eat matzah on Pesach because that's a bad thing. So it must be that I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach. Okay, but if I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach, that's a good thing. So it comes out. What do you have to say both for? Rashi says effectively. It says in Cain, lamid because of both. That's what the Gemara says. Again, just like Tov is not the mitzvah. Why? Because that wouldn't be a good thing. It must be what? That I'm going to eat matzah on Pesach, which is a good thing. Afara, the bad thing, cannot be where I'm a vatal the mitzvah. Like what? Like not eating matzah on Pesach where I'm a vatal mitzvah. It must be rather eating chametz on Pesach, right? I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach. So if that's the case, that bad thing, hara gufa hatavi. So therefore, so what do you need both for? And the other way around. In other words, the reasoning is difficult to grasp. What he's saying is the lahara or lahativ are both telling you something that are good, whether it's positive or negative. Back in the Gemara, we're in the Gemara now, even with the different Masla and Tosus Avi. And we're going to compare good to bad. Mitzvah, just like negative, not doing something is not by kiyum mitzvah. Like what? Says Rashi. As Rashi, ma hatava. Ba'akish hatava l'ra ma ra delo ochel. Where I'm not going to eat something negative. It's not the kiyum mitzvah. Like I'm not going to eat chametz on Pesach, which is not a raw. But he lo hara mikri linyan mitzvah. It's not a bad thing. In other words, ma ra ain't a kiyum mitzvah. Hamakayim mitzvah by not doing something, by not eating chametz on Pesach. Afatava ain't a kiyum mitzvah. So when I say positive, I am going to eat something. It's not by being mekayim the mitzvah, right? Because if I'm mekayim the mitzvah, right, they're just like a raw. It's not by kiyum a mitzvah, but rather by not keeping a mitzvah, like Rashi says, right? Ma raw de lo ochel. Whether it's rather not eating matzah on Pesach, where I'm not being kind mitzvah. So atava also ain't a b'kiyum mitzvah. Says Rashi, af atava the ochel she'ain't a b'kiyum mitzvah going ochel matzah el b'mitzvah going ochel chametz Pesach. So if that's the case, the Gemara goes on, so atava gufa harai. So they're one and the same. So it can't be talking about a mitzvah, because otherwise, what's in saying lahara lahativ? They're both the same. Says the Gemara, that kind of reasoning would exclude all shvuos, not just on mitzvah. Even if it's optional, even if it's not a mitzvah, you won't find that. Gemara doesn't explain it, but Rashi does. Take a look in Rashi, Divrei Amaschil, Hochi Garsinan, a few lines below that, right, almost halfway down the page in Rashi. If you use that kind of reasoning, that a raw and a tova are compared to one another, and therefore they must be the same, and therefore you don't need both. Why would the pasuk tell you lahara lahativ? Look, do it this way too, even if you're not talking about a mitzvah. Akash or tova this way. Ma tova d'ochel shein b'davar, just like something positive. I'm going to eat something. What? Why is that good? Why? Because I'm not eating something. I'm not eating poison. Shein b'davar legufa could go on ochel davar shekasha leguf. I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat something which is good, which is not poisoning the hilav atavi. If I eat poison, that's not good for me, right? It's not good for me. Forget about not good for my soul if I don't, if I eat on Yom Kippur, or if I eat hummus on Pesach, not good for my soul. Let's say I say, I'm going to eat something good, and that can't be bad for me, because if it's poison, that's not good for me. Eladavar mahano. Afara also, delocha, when I say I'm not going to eat, shein shvuzu raw legufa, I have to say I'm not going to eat something which is bad for me. Elatavi, rather good. Locha, I want something bad. So if that's the case in Kana raw, so tavi, they're also both the same. You already said a tava. And the same way of going on in Rashi, ma raw de lo ochel. When I swear I'm not going to eat, lo nishbal davar kosher, I'm not going to swear in something which is bad for me, al davar kosher, the lava roy. When I say I'm not going to eat something, I'm not swearing I'm not going to eat something bad, because that's not good. That's not good for me. If I don't eat something bad, I am going to eat something good. Right? I swear I'm not going to eat something good. I swear I'm not going to eat something big. That's the negative. Afatava, when I say I am going to eat, so just like when I say a negative, I'm not going to eat something good, which means I'm going to eat something bad, right? I'm going to eat something bad. So I'm not going to eat something good, I'm not going to eat something good, which is bad for me, right? So afatava the ochel, when I say I am going to eat something, so I'm going to eat poison. So if that's the case, hatava, that I am going to eat something, meaning something positive. Again, hatava here means something positive, which is bad for me if I say I'm going to eat poison. So it comes out hatava and a raw are both the same. So what do you have to say both for? That's what the Gemara goes on. That's why he's going. So therefore, how do you know that lahara lahaita, the shuas bita, is speaking about optional? Maybe it's speaking about a mitzvah. Oh, it can't be speaking about a mitzvah, because then hatava and a raw are both the same, right? Well, if it's optional, you could also say a raw and a tava are both the same. Ella minisrach, back in the Gemara, even with the divrei maskel and tosus nishba. Ella minisrach o l'ravos. Since we said before that o is l'ravos hatavas chem. Remember we said you can't hurt somebody else because you're not allowed to. It goes against the Torah. It's a mitzvah not to hurt somebody else. You can't break somebody's head open. But however, if I swear I'm going to do good for him, I'm going to give him a food, or I'm going to give him $100. That is, since you need o to include hatavas chem, shma mina b'dvar rishus ksivi. We're talking about dvar rishus. Why? These are mitzvah. If we're saying we're talking about a mitzvah ksivi. So if we're talking about mitzvahs over here, if you say you can't do something good, you can't do something bad for somebody because that's a mitzvah not to hurt him. So boy, what do I need a tava for? If we're talking about a mitzvah, and we said what teaches me that what that a shvuas bitui is chal when I'm doing something good. What do I need something good? If we're talking about a mitzvah, lahara means I can't hurt him. It's a mitzvah not to hurt him. So what I have to say, but I could help him. If it's a mitzvah not to hurt him, it's certainly and the mitzvah of not hurting him, the shvu is chal. If I swear I'm not going to hurt him, that shvu is chal. So certainly, if I swear I'm going to help him, that's certainly a good thing. I don't need laheta there. If lahara means that I swear I'm not going to hurt him, and that mitzvah is chal because it's a mitzvah not to hurt him, and if you say they were talking about a mitzvah. We're talking about not hurting him. That's a mitzvah in shvuas chal. So certainly, if I say I'm good, so I'm going to help him. Certainly, that should be chal. Me boy, what do I need that for? In other words, that's how we know that the pasuk is not speaking about a mitzvah. Because if we're talking about the mitzvah and we say lahara means okay, I'm not going to hurt this guy, right? Why did it have to say that I swear I'm going to help him? That shvu is chal. If we're talking about a mitzvah and not hurting him is included in the mitzvah, certainly if I swear to help him, that certainly should be chal. Elamai must be that if I swear if I swear that I'm going to hurt him, right? I'm going to hurt him. There's no mitzvah. That shvu is not chal because that's a mitzvah not to hurt him. You're not allowed to. but it is so chal. If I to help him, then the shvua, there it's I don't have to help him. I don't have to give him $100. I don't have to give him a sandwich. If I swear I do that is chal. We're not talking about a mitzvah. We're talking about a rishus. Says more of a high omi boile lechalik. You say don't we need o? Why do you say the word o is extra? We said before o is extra to teach me that if I swear I'm going to help somebody, the shvua is chal, right? Why? If I swear I'm going to hurt him, the shvua is not chal because it goes against the Torah. That's a mitzvah. The whole parsha bitu is not talking about a mitzvah, as we just said. Since I have a special pasuk to say that to help him, the shvua is chal. What do I need it for? If the shvua is chal even on a mitzvah, not to hurt him, certainly should be chal when I want to help him. Elamai. The shvua is not chal when I say I want to hurt him because that goes against the Torah. It's a mitzvah not to hurt him. Okay, but don't we need to tell me that the lahara lahativ, that if it would only say lahara ulahativ, maybe I would say the shvua is only if I swear good and bad at the same time. Isn't lachalik? Lachalik lo tzarach, says the Gemara. Why? Lo tzarach kra. So you don't need a pasuk for that. Because why? Because lahara lahativ also means that's good. According to Rabbi Yoshi, Michael, my famous machlokas Rabbi Yoshi and Rabbi Yosan, if it doesn't say or it doesn't say yachtav, do you need to separate it or not? Michael made a Tanya. Pasuk says isha yikalas of vesimo. If you curse your father and mother, you're chayav misa for that, right? Ainli alavimo. That's only if you did both. It says as of vesimo. Ava velo imo imo velo avmina. How do I know if you curse one of them? You're chayav. Talmud lomar ava ve'imo kilo. The end first at the beginning of the pasuk it says isha sherikal es aviv. Yikal is going on the one closest to the word Yikal is Aviv. The end of the pasuk says Aviv v'imukil going on the mother to tell you because the word kilo is right next to the word mother. Tell me Aviv kil imukil. Rashi says that's why it says the pasuk Isha Yikal Aves Imo, and then it says Aviv v'imo kil to tell me that it goes on injured on both. Rabbi Yonasan says no. Mash mishneim kechad. When it says Isha Yikal Aves Imo, it means either both or each one by itself. Mash me'echad b'fnei atzmo. Part lacha kasav yachtav until the pasuk says both. It doesn't say both, it means either one. So according to Rabbi Yonasan, you don't read o lachale. The word of v'imo or lahara uleit, it could mean both or one. But according to Yoshia, so what taka does Rabbi Yonasan do with avav imo kilo? You don't need avav kilo. If we just say isha savaves isha asher yikal savaves imo, it means either one or two. End of the pasuk. Avim can tell me that it's chal even after they die. You can't curse them there too. According to Yonasan, but so the Gemara says that's fine. According to Yonasan, you don't need unless it says yachta means either or. It means and or rather, right? Avav imo as avav imo can mean both or can mean one. According to Rabbi Yonasan, but according to Yoshia, that Avasima means both, so you need the word o to mechalek, because if we would say lahara ulait, if it means mashman, you have to both. Says Gemara, feel tem Rabbi Yoshia, could even like Rabbi Yoshia, who says that you need something to separate them, right? Because avavim means both, doesn't mean one. You can like it. Why? Certainly, he also like Rabbi Kiva. We had this yesterday. Rabbi Kiva says darshu. We said yesterday machlokes Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel whether lahara lahativ applies only on the future, says Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Kiva applies even on the past. Why? Because we said Rabbi Shmuel learns it with klal uprado klal. Rabbi Kiva learns it with what? With Ribi Yomiyah. It says everything is included. What's excluded? One thing. What are you going to exclude? Right? What are you going to exclude? You're going to exclude only mitzvah. That's what we said. Only dvar mitzvah. In other words, the lahara lahativ, we have a ribu and a miyad. And riba miyad riba, we include everything except for one thing. The miyad includes one thing. What are you likely to exclude? You're going to exclude mitzvah. Yeah, I'm a bishlam dvar shus. If we're talking about dvar shus, so dvar mitzvah, we exclude mitzvah. Where is it most likely that a shul will not be chal? A dvar mitzvah, because Hashem told you already do this or don't do that. Eliyamet bar mitzvah. If we're talking about mitzvah, ksiv, what are you excluding? From what are you going to exclude? Says Rashi in the second line. There's nothing which is more fit to exclude from the mitzvah of Shavuos Bitoy rather than mitzvah. If you're chayiv there, why would you have to? If you're chayiv on the dvar mitzvah, you make a shvu on a mitzvah to do or not to do a mitzvah. So certainly you should be chal on other things. Alavada bittul mitzvah imai. The key mitzvah is so when you swear that you're not going to put on tefillin, you're not going to make a sukkah, you're not going to take a lulav. The shvu is not chal. Kiyum mitzvah is also excluded since it can't do lav hein. You can't do both. You can't say I'm going to do the mitzvah. I swear I'm not going to do the mitzvah. You have to be able to say I will do this or I won't do that, and therefore kiyum mitzvah is excluded. Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira. So Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseira disagreed on Mishnah. He says that shvu is chal on a mitzvah. If you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, you're chayav. But Rabban and Shapiro come later, they said they gave him a good answer. Why? Because they said you don't have lav and you don't have an option. You don't say what are you talking about? You're talking about doing something good. I swear I'm going to do good for somebody. There you don't have lav hain. I swear I'm going to give you a sandwich. I'm going to give you $100. The shvu is chal. But if I swear I'm going to hurt you, it's not chal. So you see that there you don't have lav hain. So he answered him good. So Rabbi says, so listen, just like by hurting somebody else or helping somebody, there's no lav hain. You can't say yes or no. So here also you could say by mitzvah, I swear I'm going to do something. Yes. If I swear I'm not going to do something, I swear I'm not going to put on film, that shvu is not chal. That's not a shvur, you're potter. But l'kayim potter. But Rabbi Yonah says, if you swear that you're going to be Mekayim mitzvah and you're not Mekayim mitzvah, you're chayav for that shvur too. You don't have to have lav hain. But Rabbi Rahman, the pasuk included it, even though you can't say I'm going to hurt somebody. That shvur doesn't work, and yet you could make a shvur that you're going to help somebody. Even though you can't swear you're not going to do it, Rabbi Rahman the pasuk included. So therefore, according to Ram Seira, if I swear I'm going to put on tefillin and I don't put on tefillin, not only I don't have the mitzvah of putting on tefillin, but also I went against my shvur and the shvur is chal. But Rabbanan said there's a difference. Hasam isa below eitim. There you could say it is possible. I'm going to help somebody. Or I'm not. I swear I'm not going to help somebody. That's okay. Hachamisa below Makayim. In other words, it's apples and oranges. In the case of helping somebody, the opposite of helping somebody is not hurting somebody, but it's not helping them. So there is lavahain. Hasam isa below Eita. I can swear I'm going to help them. I can swear I'm not going to help them. You have a lavahain there. Yes, I can't swear that I'm going to hurt them. But when it comes to the mitzvah, I can't swear I'm going to do the mitzvah, or I swear I'm not going to do the mitzvah. Not doing the mitzvah is the opposite, and that doesn't work. So since it's not lavein, it doesn't work. Says the Mishnah, shvur shloch. We had this case before. Listen carefully. Shvur shloch. I swear I'm not going to eat kickers. I'm not going to eat from this bread. Shvur shloch ochleno. I will not consume it. Now you see this is olo ochel, and the second shvur is lo ochleno. I will not eat it. We'll see the difference. Shvur shloch ochleno. A third time I said shvur ochleno, but ochla, and you only chayiv once. Because the shvur ain't shvur chal shvur. Once you have a mitzvah, you can't eat any part of this loaf. I swear I'm not going to eat this bread. You can't. You have that mitzvah. You can't eat it. So a second shvur, third shvur wouldn't be chal. We'll see why it says the second one in a different lashon. It says ochel, and the second one is ochlena, and then the third one is also ochlena. What do you need the third one for? Zui. This is sort of going on all that we've learned till now. Zui shvus bita. This is shvus bita we talk about where I swear I'm going to do something and not do something. We've proven today that it's only on optional things, not on a mitzvah. And you're chayiv if you did it on purpose, if you went against al-zonik makos. If there was a mice involved, I swear I'm not going to eat the sandwich, and I do eat the sandwich, then you get malchus for that. According to Bekiva, even on the past, if I swear and there's Edom and Asra, even on the past, you're chayiv, that's a shvur sheker, chayiv malchus for that. If I was shogeg, I made a mistake. I forgot that I forgot about it when I first swore. Then I forgot that I made the shvur and I was over on that. You chayiv korban olavi, or when you find out later on shvur shav. What's the shvur shav we said before? Chayiv and al-zdona makas was gasapata. Shvur shav. What's the shvur shav? I swear the man is a woman. I swear this wall is made out of gold. I swear that I'm going to fly up to the heavens or whatever. I'm going to fly around with wings or whatever. See, something that's crazy that goes against everything that we know. So you're chayiv malchus for it. If you say Edom and Asra, you're a shogeg, you're potter. Why? Because a shogeg, that's not a shvuas bitu, that's a shvuas shav. Lamali, the pasuk says, "Don't swear my name falsely." That's a shvuas shav. That's not the shvuas bitu. Lamali, that's a shvuas shlochel. Why does it say first shvuas shlochel and then it's a shvuas shlochel? No. Why did the shlochel? Listen carefully. Time at Rama shlochel. The reason why you only chayiv once is because it's first said the ochel, which means any part of it, even a kazayas. Then I said ochlena. Ochlen means I'll eat the whole thing. If I swear I'm going to eat this loaf, that means I'm not going to eat any part of it, even one kazayas. Ochlen means I'm not going to eat the whole thing. Only in that case does the Mishnah say you're only chayiv for the first one. Why? Because the second one did not add anything on to the first one. The first, meaning, yes, I'm not going to consume the whole thing, but as soon as I said the first thing, I'm not going to eat one kazayas, I'm over. The second one, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. As soon as I eat part of it, I'm already over in the first one. So it doesn't add. Let's say I first swore, listen to this, I swear I'm not going to eat the whole loaf. Ochlena means I'm going to eat the whole loaf. And then I swear I'm not going to eat ochel. Ochel means any part of it, even a kazayas. Then mechayev tarti. What happens then? I swear I'm not going to eat the whole loaf. And then I swear I'm not going to eat any part of this bread. As soon as I eat a part of the bread, a kazayas, I'm over on the second on the second shvua. The first shvua that I'm not going to eat the whole thing, I wasn't over yet because I didn't eat the whole thing yet. So therefore, he says you're chayiv too there. If I swear I'm not going to eat this bread, as soon as you get a kazayis, you're chayiv. Shlo ochlena means I will not eat the whole thing. And eskula until I eat the whole thing. So listen carefully. If I said I swear I'm not going to eat the whole thing, and then I said another shvua, I'm not going to eat this loaf, both shvuas are chal. Why? Because as soon as I eat a kazayis, I'm over on the second one, and a kazayis. I'm not over in the first one yet. Only on the first one you eat the whole thing. But if I swore first, our Mishnah, I swore first I'm not going to eat a kazayis, and then I swear I'm not going to eat the whole thing. So the second one it includes the first one already. The first one basically says as soon as I eat part of it, I'm over on the first one. And I was thinking about why isn't it shvuas kolel? Why isn't it kolel? Isser kolel? Because you're not including something else. It's the same bread. In other words, you're not including the last kazayas. When I say achlena, the last one, any part of achlena means the whole thing, including any kazayas that's in there. And what do I need the third one for? You said, okay, I understand why you have the first two to tell me if I swear I'm not going to eat a kazayas, then I swear I'm not going to eat the whole thing. So the second one does not chal because as soon as I eat one kazayis, I'm over on the first one. I'm over on the first one and the second one. The second one doesn't chal. But what is the third one for? Hasu lamali hakamashman chiyuvu leket. Tell me, listen. I made a shvua on the first one. I made a shvua on the second one. Then a second shvua ochlena, and then I said a third shvua. So he says you only chayiv one. What's the chiddush there? There's no chiyuv ika. Right? Shvua kamashman chiyuvu leka hashvuika. There's no chiyuv over here if I eat the first kazayis, but the shvu is still there. It's suspended. How so? That why? The imishkachas ravcha, if it finds any space, chayla. What does it mean? It finds any space? Let's say I went to the rabbi and I asked a shayla. I was shoel neder. I was mater neder on the first one. Then the second and the third could be chal. If I was shoel on the first and second one, the third one could be chal. That's what also shniya tachteh takes its place. In other words, I swear I'm not going to eat this bread. Let's say I swear I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. So what is it? What does that mean? Yes, and then I ate. I'm only chayiv one. However, it's there. The shvu is out. It's hanging out there. It's suspended. That if I was shoel neder on the first one or on the first one, second one, the third one could be chal. Let's prove it from here. Mishnah not a basis here. So man says, I want to be nazir twice. What is a stam naziris? How many days? Stam naziris 30 days, right? So I swear I'm going to be two naziris. And I counted the first 30 days. I did right. I didn't take a haircut. I didn't drink wine. Wasn't Tommy Lamasim. There's from kind of now I set aside a carbon to finish my nazira so I could drink wine again. Then I was shoel on the first one. Now, if I said two naziris, normally what do I have to do? I keep 30 days, do all the procedure, then I keep another one. But over here, let's say I was shoel on the first one after I kept the 30 days, also the second one takes the place. The 30 days that I kept properly, that I observed, those 30 days count for the second neder, for the second naziris. Because I said I'm going to keep two. Normally you keep two. I got to keep 30, then keep another 30. Let's say after I kept 30, I was shoel on the first naziris. I was mater neder. The second one takes place of the first one, and that's it. And I can bring the carbon now, that same carbon for the second one. So that's the proof from there to this idea that if I said I'm not going to eat the bread 3 times, it's not that the shvu is not there. The shvu is suspended. You can't compare the two. You may be correct. That's what the Mishnah says. That's why it says 3 times to tell you that even if you're shoel on the first and the second one, the third one's there, but you can't compare it to naziris. Why? Naziris mi'isa. The naziris is there. Listen carefully. If I said I'm going to keep 2 naziris, what does that mean? If everything goes at hunky dory, everything's fine. I keep 30 days, and I keep another 30 days, right? But over here, the chimani rishona boy maramem lashir. And even if I was not shoel on the neder, I got to keep the second one below shayla. Without shayla, I keep the second one as well. But over here, you could say like this: when I made the first neder, then I made the second, and then the third. You could say that no, if I'm not shoel on the neder, leaving everything aside, if I don't do any action, I'm not mater neder. No, maybe it's gone, maybe it's batal. In other words, once I make a shvua that I'm not going to eat this bread, and then I say the same shvua again, and the second and the third time, maybe it's batal. The words are batal because I already have the first one there. In the case of the naziris, even if I wasn't showing the neder, the 2 nazirises would be there. I keep 30 days and keep another 30 days. But when I swear I'm not going to eat bread, and then I swear the second and the third time. Right, the second and third ones maybe are meaningless as batal, so you can't prove our case of the Mishnah from the naziris. It could be that that's the halacha. The halacha is if I shoel on the first one and on the second one, the third one would be chal. If I'm showing the first one, the second one's chal. If I'm showing the second one, the third one's chal. right? That could be, but you can't prove in the case of Naziris. Why? Because in the case of Naziris, they would be chal anyway. Because if I take it upon myself to keep 2 Nazirises, I keep 30 days, I can keep another 30 days. Yes, if I'm shoel on the first one, then the second one will fulfill the days that I kept for the first one could work for the second one. The second Naziris takes the place of the first one. But if I'm shoel on it, but if I'm not shoel on it, it's still chal. That's not like the case of the bread, because in the case of the bread, if I'm not shoel on it, the second and third one would be meaningless. All right, tomorrow we'll pick it up from here from Amarava Nishba Al Kikar, the 6 lines from the bottom of the page. We'll pick it up from there because it's Rosh Chodesh. Chodesh Tov L'Kulam B'Surah Tovot.